music.
Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. Sorry, we're having technical difficulties this morning, and it's one of those days. I've been at the gym. All the blood has left my brain and gone to my shoulders. Got the shoulders in today, so had a nice little shoulder pump in there. Had the countdown going before. It's one of those days. We're live already. No countdown. Countdown is over. I didn't even open my Coke Zero yet. Hang on. That required real effort. It's an exciting day, guys. I was kind of reading through the chat here real quick, and I saw Johnny's, and we're going to see who's here. But I saw Johnny posted, what a massive day of profit realization we all had. Weeks of planning finally paid off. That's right, guys. Today's a good day. We've realized some significant profit, over $20,000 realized profit today, guys. And listen, I'm not a whale. I'm not one of those big trader guys that, it makes 20,000 every trade. This is like weeks of planning, and I've been in at least one of these trades for about 2 weeks and another trade for about a week. And then a couple trades from last night or today, but over $20,000 today. And, that's not an everyday occurrence for me or guys like Johnny. I don't want to speak for Johnny or Johnny and Max. I know them because we've been trading for years together, but so today's a good day. But when we show you these P&Ls, you just realize, like, I know some traders make this every trade they do, but we don't. So this is a good day. It's weeks of planning finally paid off, and that's what being patient is. That's what being patient is all about for us, anyway. Let's take a look, though, because I'm excited. First of all, we have the big short from 81.7K. I did T a little more P. I am about 96% out of this trade. I just have like itty bitty left on it, but this is the 81.7 trade. This is the one I think Max closed yesterday. I think Max, correct me if I'm wrong, or the day before. Max made I think $7,000 on his free $1,500 MEXC account. So made $7,000 on this. Again, when did I get in this trade? So $7,200. I'm still in the trade, but I'll probably only make pennies if it continues. 81.7. So I got in this trade right back here on May 14th. Today is June 3rd. So I've been in this trade for like 3 weeks, guys. This is not something that just, I know some guys do this every day. I don't, but it took me 3 weeks to make that $7,000, and I could have managed it a little better, but that's okay because I was in another short. Our Babylon 2.0. I did close this one completely, 7,600. So that puts us up $15,000 on the day, over $15,000. I closed this completely. I gave and took this on the live stream. Actually, I took it about 2 minutes before I went live for the Babylon trade last week. About 2 minutes. I posted in Discord. As soon as I took it, I posted in Discord that I'd taken it. Then we went live, and we actually got a big old pump, and I went like $500 in drawdown. And then came back, and I just closed it for $7,600 profit. Closed that today. I do think we go lower. We're going to talk about that, but I don't care. Like, I'm good. I was just cashing in today. It was good. I am long. I did long the dang green box. I have closed 50% of this trade for $1,000. I actually set a limit order on this. I could have got a little better entry, but I set a limit order right here on our key level. I had a limit order set. It was actually just outside of the dang green box, but I knew that was key. So, and we're going to talk about this key level, and this has been on the chart for, I don't know, probably 2 months. This key level has been on this chart for probably 2 months. So I set a limit order there. We ran up. I closed 50% of the trade. And then, of course, I gave the ARB trade last night. Apparently, I picked the wrong altcoin. Holy shit. WorldCoin's up like 40% today. Goodness gracious, I could have made $40,000. Whatever. I took the ARB trade. I have it here somewhere. I just closed the ARB trade, actually. So we made about $5,000 on this trade. It was a $100,000 trade. We closed for 104.9. Right at 105. So I made right at $5,000 on this trade. Could go higher. That's fine. I had a plan. We're going to talk about that. Some guys were discussing. Some guys involved me in one guy, Johnny, involved me in a discussion in Discord while I was at the gym. Look at this, guys. I even posted the gym picture. Get ready. I'm going to show you the, look, I had the workout pump going. Look at the shoulder pump going. Shoulders and trap pump. Had the pump going. Had some veins popping out of the arms. I don't look like this all the time. As you can see, I don't look like this all the time. Same shirt, see? But I pump up really well, I think, when I'm working out. They were involving me in the chat this morning. That's all right. We're going to talk about this because Johnny is correct, and I think people need to learn that. So we're going to talk about that. U.S. is about to open here in a little bit. We'll see what we can get. Let's see who is here. So anyway, you add all that stuff up, and we're up about $21,000 profit on the day. Realized profit. The only trade I'm in, I have like 3 or 4% left on my trade from like 82 whatever. So that's a nothing. And then I have 50% left on my long. I don't know how long's going to go. I'm so iffy on that. But I knew we would get a bounce here. Jack, what's up? Jack Thanos, my main man. Thanos making some profits this morning. Johnny number 5 and Mighty Max. You guys are up 20 grand or so with me. I know. Salt Chain, I think we can go lower. Good morning. Joe, West Coast. He in the profit? I saw a little P&L in there somewhere on West Coast in the profit. Good job, bro. Johnny number 5. You already read that one. Max. Hey, Hawkborn. Sorry, my little workout partner there. Hawkborn hitting the heavy legs. I almost did legs this morning. You know what? Today should have been leg day for me. But it was such a good day. Y'all gonna think I'm stupid. Y'all gonna think I'm weak. It was such a good day. I realized over $21,000 profit today. It was supposed to be leg day. And I walked in the gym and I said, you know what? Not today, Satan. You're not fixing to ruin this good day by making me do legs. His legs is freaking awful. So we told Satan, no thank you. We will do legs tomorrow. Speaking of working out, Hawkborn worked chest this morning. I did shoulders and traps. Y'all can't see it because I sit hunched over here, which, by the way, I'm bringing in my new desk. I made myself a new desk. I'm bringing that in tomorrow. I think it's a little higher, so I should be able to sit back like this. You can see I know that's what you guys come here for, to see the shoulders and stuff. So instead of me hunching over all the time, I'll be pulled back. Salt Chain says it's been an awesome couple of days. Yeah, we've planned for this, guys. If you're not up massively today, then it's not, you shouldn't take our trades, but you haven't been paying attention. Like, we've been calling for this for a couple weeks. We've been in the trades. We've given you all the evidence. If you're not up massively since the Babylon cross, then you don't believe in the analysis, because we showed you that there is no possible way for that not to play out hugely unless this whole thing is over and it's a bull market. And that was the only way. And even if that was the case, I showed you how there's never been a case where you didn't have at least a 15% dump on Bitcoin. So that if you're not in a short after that cross, then you need to re-examine your current or future potential profession here. That is a major cross. Eons, what's up, bro? Hawkborn is trying. Good job. I'm proud of you, man. Keep that up. Keep it up. Seriously, if you have any fitness questions, feel free to post them in the chat. We'll cover fitness, nutrition, homesteading, all that stuff. Sorry we missed yesterday, guys. We had to go to the hospital, just do some routine testing stuff. I rode the Harley. God, I got sunburn. My arms are, you probably can't tell, but my arms are really red, and I feel like I have a fever. I rode the Harley, a long ride into Jackson. I was so mad. Fortunately, I was in a short, and I didn't miss the bottom, right? If this is the bottom, I didn't miss it. I was able to catch it, but I was so mad. You can ask Catherine. We were coming back yesterday, and I never, guys, I go to the gym and home. I never leave the house. I never leave. I don't really like people that much, like getting out in public and people. So, like, I stay fortified in the homestead, right? And I said, the one freaking day I leave this house, like the one day I leave the house, crypto's just gonna go wild. I mean, all the time it just goes nothing, sideways, sideways, sideways. And the one day I leave the house, just tanking. Worse, I decided I'm going to go on a Harley. So I'm not even like passenger in a car where I can still pull up trades and I can still manage and I can still try to catch a bottom. I couldn't do anything about it. We stopped to get gas along the way and I had like 30 alerts. I was like, holy shit. And I couldn't do anything about it. I was so mad. But if you knew me better, this is just how it goes for me. This is how it goes. I can sit here and wait on a trade for 6 days. I mean, wait and watch and watch and watch and watch and wait. And I can go to the grocery store. And when I'm halfway there, beep, 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 my alerts will start going off. And you have no idea how much that happens to me. And I'm fully convinced somewhere in China, like somebody else is looking at the same asset, same coin, but a completely different price action. I'm convinced. Like they just know when I leave. How far away from Jackson do you live? Well, since we came to the homestead, we were in a little town called Madison, which is like a suburb of Jackson, so maybe like a 15, 20-minute ride. But now we live about, 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on where you're going. It's 2 hours. So not terrible, but, enough when you're on a Harley and can't check the charts and Bitcoin's dumping like 10%. Enough. Some of these alts are down 20, 30% yesterday. Of course, WorldCoin is up 50%. I mean, just ridiculous. We'll see what we get today. We cover the P&Ls. I am trading today I'm on my long in KCEX. KCEXtrading.com, by far the lowest fees you're going to find. If you're paying too much in fees, guys, just stop. It's ridiculous. I'm going to post a link directly to KCEX. Go directly there. There it is. Just posted it in chat. KCEXtrading.com. Get your account. They have all kinds of free bonus money, to do the little simple little tasks that they ask for and get your free bonus money. Thousands of dollars in free bonus money. Easy little tasks, guys. Go do all that stuff. I am also trading on MEXC, MEXCtrading.us. I'll post that one for you guys real quick too. If I can type. Boom. Now you have the links. You can click direct there or affiliate links below in the description, whatever. So how about that bull moon, guys? We're under a bull moon. We called this. We had Jane on here the other day, and she said she's not feeling very optimistic about the bull moon this time. I wasn't either. I told somebody in chat at Discord said something about bull moon. I said bull flop. I knew this was coming. We got the 2-day EMA cross, the Babylon. There was no chance, none, in my opinion, that bull moon was going to play out. I want to show you guys something interesting. We're still waiting on the market to open. I got on a little early today. I want to show you something interesting that I find interesting. So let's go look at the monthly chart. We called for this. Okay, look at this. Could you have drawn this? Could you have drawn this up any better? This is not looking. I did not. When I drew this, guys, you have my word. I did not go back and look at any of this stuff. I did not put a fib on here. I did not reference. Where's my chart? I did not reference any of this stuff. None of it. Not a single thing. You have my word. I didn't come back here and say, where's the key level? Where's this? Where's that? I didn't do any of that. This is our monthly prediction that we put out based upon historical monthly statistics, okay? All I did was measure this out based upon the June historical stats. That's it. That is all I did. I did nothing else. And this is what we drew up a week ago or 4 or 5 days ago, the 31st, 4 days ago. This is what we drew up. Could you have scripted this any better thus far anyway? I mean, like clockwork. And we even put on here the low. If the low, this leads me on to my next point. If the low is going to come in, let me turn this red line off. It's not applicable. If this is our 2-day, this is our Babylon cross. So I don't anticipate it's getting back above this. Not right this second anyway. Anyway, the low, if the low is coming first, the low has always come in the first 5 days. So we were looking for this move down, and look, here we are on day 3, and we have nailed our box. However, let me show you something, okay? That kind of makes you go, okay? So this tripped us up in March or April. This tripped me up, and I got it wrong because of exactly what I'm about to show you. Not from this March or April. It did the same thing in March or April, but I'm going to show you from, even though these are June historical stats, okay? We're in a midterm year. Okay, this is the midterm June. This is the bear market June. It's always there's always one June that's in the bear market, right? Bear market June. It happens to be in midterm as well every time, just the way the cycle falls, right? Let's go back and look at June of 2022, okay? Which would be the last, I don't know what I just did, the last bear market June. All right, I'm on the daily chart. June 1st, let's mark it out, is right here. So, you know, Bitcoin's average move to the upside is like 10% on the wick for the month of June. However, this is the same thing we did this year in March or April. I can't remember which. Look at this. You opened at June right here. You wicked up 0.58%. Nobody, and I mean nobody, would have thought that's the high for June, for the entire freaking month. Like, you're not even going to go up 1%. Nobody. You would have thought you moved down. Okay, we're bouncing. We're gonna come on up. No, that was the high. 0.58% sit on the first, and then as you can see, it was down only. Okay. This is the same seasonal timing that we're in now. June in the bear market, June in the midterm year. 0.58% to the upside and then down. Now, every other month you have set, so this technically would be you setting the high first. Even though it was on the first and only 0.58%, you set the high first. The high for the month was set right there, less than 1%, 0.58%. Remember that number, 0.58%. So it looks like you would have set the low first, but you never came back up and took the high. So that high was actually set right there, 0.58%. Let's fast forward to this June, the last few days, okay? We opened the month of June right here. Look at this, guys. You can't make this up. 0.57%. What if? Just like last midterm June, just like last bear market June. What if? What if that's it? That's a real possibility, guys. We would not get this big bounce because the high is already in. Every other year, every single other June, every one of them that you open to the downside, every one of them, you would get something like that. Every one of them. But not last bear market June, not last midterm June. 0.58% then, 0.57% now. I don't know if it's going to play out that way. I really don't. Nobody does, but what if? Seasonal similarity is a very real thing. Go check it out if you don't believe me. It's very real. Now, what that did back then is it you set that high on the first day, you came down for 2 or 3 days, and you came back up like this, and then rolled over. Okay. So just what if? And if you this changes, this target changes if the high came first. Okay. Well, I'll show you that. We have that. See, it's on here now because it appears the low is coming first, but last time this was it. That changes if the high came first and that 0.5% move up was actually the high being set first. It changes to your target would be down here because the stats are different for setting the high first versus setting the low historically. So that would mean we actually have continued downside to go, which could include taking out the 60K low. I don't know the answer to that. One thing I am fairly confident in is that we will hit, I do believe that we will hit this June. So I don't think the low for the month is in now. I do think we'll hit this 200-week SMA, which is currently coming in about 61.8, right about 62K. Okay. Oops. And if you look at the daily, I also don't think you came this close to this last swing low, this relative equal. I just don't think you came that close to leave it behind. Now, will you come take these relative equal lows? You would have to hit that 200-week SMA. I think we at least come there at some point, probably within the next few days. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. We could come much, 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 much lower. If the high is already in, I would actually likely expect something like this, and then come take it all. Maybe come retest some of this breakdown area. I doubt you come way back up here. That's what I would expect. I don't think the low is in. I think we have to come tag this. Right there. Pretty interesting food for thought on that last bear market June, though. I just noticed that last night. I know everybody's worried about these altcoins. Altcoins getting a good pump this morning. Let's look at I don't think so some of the lows may be in, some of the bottoms may be in for some of these altcoins. Probably WorldCoin, possibly Fetch, but for a lot of them they're not. I mean, we could look at ARB. Just look at ARB, which is one we got on last night. I mean, you came almost down to the low you set in March. You're probably going to come take that out at some point. Maybe not. May not come take that out, but very likely that you do. Let's look at the others chart. Okay, so this is the others chart. Crypto total market cap excluding the top 10. And it looks, I mean, I know you're moving up. It looks like the Bitcoin chart does. I'm on the 5-day time frame. We could go to the weekly. I'm on the weekly time frame. It looks just like Bitcoin, come down here early February, late January, bounce, run up, and now it's holding up a little better than Bitcoin so far, but nonetheless, it looks like a bear flag, okay? And you could easily break down and come take out some of these lows. I've marked out some of the previous. This is May through July, basically May and June, so some of the historical performance, and you can see between May and June I don't guess I marked out 2025. I need to go do that. That'd be right here. Let's do that real quick. May, first week of May, last week of June, and let's ballpark it. 32%. All right, 32% down. All right, so last May through June, so 2 months, all of May, all in June, you dropped 32% on others, which is basically total 3, I think. It's just the others chart. Year before, you dropped 27%. The year before that, 27%. The year before that, 66%. The year before that, 54%. Year before that, so 2020, you actually moved up, which is rare. 12% in 2019, 43% in 2018, 36% in 2017, 26% in 2016. So you get the point. Only once, 2020, did you move up. And actually, this was coming right off the heels. You got it a little early. This is a bit of an anomaly. I know it happened, so whatever. But this was the Rona dump. So you'd already gotten the dump. Okay, I think if Rona had not happened here, I know it did, but had it not, this is, I mean, when you get a global pandemic like this, it throws everything out of whack. Otherwise, this probably would have just kept going sideways until June-ish and then got this big dump, right? But you just got it a couple months early here because of the pandemic. So if that's the case, I mean, we could be looking for you know, a 20, see 27.32.66, 27.54. I mean, 20, call it 25, 30% dump maybe. And let's see what we've gotten so far. Let's line these out. That doesn't mean every altcoin. This is obviously an average. So far, taking it from the high there in May, we've only gotten an 11% dump. So I just don't think these alts are done. I don't think these alts. So if this goes down another 15, 20% or more, obviously some of your altcoins are not going to set new lows, but some of them will. Maybe not lifetime lows, but cycle lows. They're going to take out their low from February, March, right? And this does look very bear flaggy. I mean, anyone can see that. Looks just like this. Boom, you break the flag, you head down. Right? You guys all know what a bear flag is. Here's a bigger one here. You break the flag, you head down. So we'll see. That's what I'm expecting. So don't worry. I think you're going to get some lower prices on some of these alts. It could be your last chance at them before a good July, August rally that we've been calling for. Let's see. That is a long way, Hawkborn, to drive on a motorcycle. The term is ride. A real biker would take offense to driving a motorcycle. We ride a motorcycle. I'm just kidding. Is ARB going to be your backup, or did you just see an opportunity yesterday? I haven't just checked Discord, so I'm behind. I was actually, I'm not sure. It's a good question. I'm not sure. I will let you guys know when I know. I'll be honest. It was kind of a panic buy last night, and I don't mean that I wasn't planned. I saw the bounce coming, bounce opportunity for Bitcoin and the alts. I saw it. I was correct. And I was in the process of checking out some alts. Okay, I was in the process. I'm going to look at ARB in a second with you guys. I was in the process of going through some alts and doing my thing, circulating supply, tokenomics, blah, 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 market cap. And I happened to be on ARB, and I kind of liked it-ish. And whether I liked it and was going to use it for my long-term hold or not, I don't know. But I liked it well enough to take a shot on it right there. Obviously, I didn't pick the right one. I should have picked WorldCoin. Went up 40%, right? But I did pick it. It ran up 6 or 7%. I think 6%. I sold it at 5%. And we're going to talk about why I sold and the plan that I had. Kind of going into Johnny and my main man's conversation this morning. But I'm not sure. I still, and if you guys have an alt, I'm still willing to pay you $1,000 if I choose your alt. I'm not just going to pay $1,000 for every alt you send me. But if I pick your alt, I will send you $1,000. Plain and simple. I'll send it right here in front of everybody. I'll do it on live stream. I don't care. So you guys let me know. But I'm actually considering ARB. I'll tell you. Let's look at ARB real quick. Market's about to open. I don't really want to trade. I'm not trading. Bitcoin's dumping. I'm not trading. I'm already in a long. I'm still technically in a short. And even if I wasn't, there's no chance I would short after we're down from 83K after a $17,000 dump. There's no way I would short here. We talked about that earlier too. In Discord, and when I harp on you guys in Discord, I know I'm not perfect. I know. But I'm not afraid to take trades, even if I lose them. And, just everybody, and I get it. I used to be the same way, but I'm just trying to teach you. And Johnny and Max kind of have started chiming in a little more. I've encouraged this in the pro group for them to encourage a little more. When you come here and you're dumping, it's hard to pull a trigger on this. First of all, you don't just blindly pull a trigger. I did today because it was the key level, but you want to look for the reaction. Divergence is a reaction, then pull the trigger. But nobody wants to do that. You're all scared. Not you all. We're all, everybody's scared. I'm scared too. But what happens is, and you do it all the time. I don't care if you say you don't, you do. Everybody does. This happens. You skip the key area. It comes up here, and then you're like, oh gosh, I knew I should have took that trade. Why didn't I take the trade? And then you're like, when you're here, you're like, how can I get in this trade? You can't. You've missed it. It's too late. Okay. Can you get a little pullback entry? Yeah. Maybe you can, but you're probably going to be too scared to take that one too. And then what if you take that one and it's wrong and you fall right through the golden pocket and you come on down and you actually set a divergence and you're stopped out and liquidated and then you get the real buy? Don't do that. Just take the trade. If you have a plan, stick to the plan. Don't try to find a trade later once you realize you've messed up, because then you're just going to throw another problem on top of a problem. I'm just telling you some experience. I have done every dumb thing you can do. Every scared thing you can do, everything I've done multiple times. All of us have. We all have. We're all in this together. I'm just trying to tell you the things that I've done that I try not to do anymore, and I still make mistakes. I have good reads. I have good technical analysis. I take good trades and still lose them sometimes. Even a good trade can go wrong. It's not what it's about. It's not what it's about at all. One of my favorite traders, he's one of the best as far as the most profitable. He's not one of the best as far as his win percentage. In fact, his win percentage is terrible. He showed the other day, and I didn't even know how bad it was. He showed the other day, and he was scrolling through his wins and losses on his P&L screen, and I was like, oh my gosh. There was, like, at one point, he was like 12 on the screen, and like 11 of them were losses in a row for thousands of dollars. Right? I mean, he was down like 20 grand, and then that 12th one was like a $68,000 profit. And he showed like 3 more in a row for like $15,000 profit. But he showed 10 or 11 in a row for $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 loss. But then in his next 3 trades, so he was down like 20, 25 grand. Then his next 3 trades put him up over 100 grand. So it just doesn't matter. The key is not to take profit too soon. Ride your winners. Everybody takes profit too soon. I used to do the same thing. It brings me to the point, I'm not going to call anybody out this morning. So, let's look at the ARB. We took the ARB trade last night, made 5 grand. I closed mine a little soon, but I got close enough. I had a plan. So somebody had posted, and this person, if you're on the stream, you're not the only one, okay? People message me at least 2 or 3 times a week talking about, I closed the trade way too soon. Oh, really? Where was your take profit at? Well, I didn't really have one. Then you don't have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you can't take a trade, period. There's 3 things you need to take a plan. You need an entry target. You need a profit target, and you need an invalidation or a stop loss or liquidation area, right? Stop loss target, whatever. Those are the 3 things you need. If you don't have all 3, you cannot take the trade. And a big, large part of that equation is a take profit area. You could have multiple take profit. You could have a partial take profit. You could have a full close the trade take profit, whatever. But you have to have that, or you're trading without a plan, and you're going to get wrecked. Even if 1 or 2 or 10 of them work out for you, you're going to get wrecked. Because you have to have all 3 parameters. And I'm just telling you, I'm trying to teach you. And I think that's what Johnny was trying to do this morning too. You have to have all 3, or you're trading blindly. But anyway, so I think this person had, and I'm not picking on you, bro. I'm telling you, I've done this 1,000 times. Had taken profit. What did ARB bounce total? We didn't catch the bottom, but total bounce on ARB this morning was 9%. Okay. I think I caught about 5% of it. But this person closed out at 1%. Okay, 1%. And so Johnny said, nice job, good, congratulations. Why did you close at 1%? Because at this point, it was up like 5 or 6%. Why did you close at 1%? Was that your plan? If so, great job. If not, what was your plan? And this person didn't have a plan. He was like, I didn't know, none of the usual signals had fired. So I just kind of took it. And I'm not knocking you, but that is a terrible non-plan, right? You always have to have a plan. to take it because you number one, you're selling yourself short. So if you could make you're going to lose some trades. Okay, you're going to lose some trades. Period. I don't care who you are. You, me, the greatest trader in the world, you're going to lose some trades. So if you're going to lose some trades every once in a while for 1 or 2%, how do you make that not matter? You catch some winners for 5 or 10%. But if you're always taking 1% trades and then here comes a trade that you lose 2 or 3%, next thing you know, you're in the hole. You can't do that. You have to ride your winners. So you have to know, is this trade even worth it? Is the risk to reward worth it? Right? And that's where things like this that we put on sometimes, I don't use these enough, but these, we put on these on, so we can see our risk to reward, right? To see if it's worth it taking this trade. So a good rule of thumb for me, I've never really done this with alts, not much, but I do. Johnny, Max, and I've told you guys this before multiple times, for probably a year and a half, and I do mean every single day, no matter what, because we do this on leverage. Every single day on Bitcoin, we would trade short or long at the daily open, daily close, whatever you want to call it. Every freaking day, we would short or long Bitcoin back to the daily 5 EMA every single day. And I think it has a 96% hit rate and something like a 99% hit rate on day 2 if day 1 misses. And I think the alts are pretty similar. Now, unfortunately, on alts for spot, then you could only trade this if you close the day below the daily 5, right? Because you can't spot trade a short, right? You could leverage it, but I don't leverage trade alts. So you'd have to have it closed below, and you would buy spot and ride it back up to daily 5, right? Okay, and let's just look at ARB. Since you fell below it right here in May 12th, you hit it. So how many days is this? 22, we'll call it 21 days because we haven't finished today's yet, okay? So you hit, and I know I'm taking time, so what? You can make lots of money. 1, 2, 3, 4, miss, 5, miss, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 out of 21 days. %, okay? 86% you rallied back up to tap the daily 5. 86% of the time. That's on ARB, okay? And I can almost guarantee you, and a couple of these were what I would consider close enough. I like this one here. You came up to less than 0.5% today from the daily 5, and I took profit. I'll close it out. I'm close enough. Just like if we have a golden pocket or this value area high here, let's just say, and I'm leverage trading, I'm going to close right there. I'm going to take profit right there because how many times do you see things front ran? Because market makers, I'm not saying market makers are manipulating ARB. Maybe they are. Who cares? But how many times they know that you want this level, so they'll turn you around right before it. That or they'll know that you're taking profit here and they'll blast you through it, hoping you long and then reverse on. Either way, I always front run. I get close for front run, and we got up here, and I took profit. But what I didn't do was take profit at 1% because I had a plan. I didn't really have a good plan for ARB because I was just learning it. But I do know that coins, 96 on Bitcoin, apparently 86 in the last month on ARB, return to the daily 5. So at the end of the day, that is always going to be a plan of mine if I can't come up with any other plan. And I can guarantee you, if you want to be a little more advanced, let's see. I actually want to see this. Let me split screen this really quick, guys. I'll try to be quick. I know you guys are probably getting annoyed at me. If you're getting annoyed at this, then you don't want to make money or you know everything already. One of the two. Let me put bitter corn on here. Got to put Bear with me. I'm genuinely curious here. What do I want? The 5? That's all I want. I want the 5. Let's make it white because I like it. That's what I'm used to seeing. EMA, daily 5. Let's go to the daily time frame. All right, I'm going to compare this here with ARB. Look, this day right here was a miss for ARB, right? Let me line this. Miss for ARB, but it hit for Bitcoin. This day right here was a miss for ARB, but it hit for Bitcoin. These two were misses on both. No, it wasn't. It was a hit here. So the only one that stands out that was a miss on both was this one. Right there. That is the only candle of all of these that was a miss. So you actually have, if you want to do it this way, I know it's one more step, 95%. There's only one candle of all of these 21s that was a miss. So what you could do, you sit on ARB, you're trading this back to the daily 5 EMA, right? Okay? It had 3 misses. But at the same time, you could look over at Bitcoin. So your ultimate goal is to take profit. Let's just say that's your ultimate goal. You don't know what else to do, is to take profit when you hit the daily 5, right, on ARB. But you could also know that altcoins typically follow Bitcoin. So you could be watching Bitcoin. If Bitcoin hits his daily 5, but ARB is not, maybe go ahead and close your ARB because Bitcoin hit its target. And 2 of these 3 chances, ARB did not hit its target. 2 of these 3 misses, ARB did not hit its target, but Bitcoin did. So when Bitcoin did and rejected, that rejected ARB as well. And if you use that strategy, watching Bitcoin to the 5 and ARB to the 5, you would only have one loss. One loss, which you would have gotten out the very next day when it came back and hit, right here. But you got to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you can't take the trade, you're going to get wrecked. Even if you don't get wrecked and you make 1% or 0.5%, and you could have made 5 or 6%, you're going to kick yourself. And what that's going to do is it's going to mess with your head, and you're going to make a mistake next time because you're in your head about it. Stick to the plan. And I'm sorry, guys, if this sounds insensitive, but if you did this, did what I just showed you in the last month, you would have lost 1 trade, and I don't care. I don't care. If you won 95% of your trades, which that's what this would have been, and you're crying about the 1 loss, I got a nice reality check for you. I'm sorry if I'm insensitive. I skip sensitivity training. But if your 95% is not good enough for you, then nothing ever will be. You take your loss, suck it up, get back in the next day, and win the next trade. That's just the way it is. But this is a hell of a winning strategy, okay? You're not going to win every day. You're going to have a couple days like right up here on ARB. But look. I know we're not leverage shorting alts, but even if you did, look up here on ARB, you missed 3 days. 3 misses. But let's trace that over to Bitcoin. All of Bitcoin's were wins. They all hit. So number one, you could either take this on Bitcoin and win every time, almost every time. Or again, if you took this trade, instead of waiting on this to get hit, you get out when Bitcoin hits its 5, its daily 5. Because if Bitcoin hits it and bounces or hits it and rejects, ARB is probably going to do the same. So if ARB's not there and Bitcoin is, it's time to get out. Well, why not just take it on Bitcoin? Well, you can. But your percentage is going to be greater here. So you can take the trade here as long as the coins are following each other. You know, some coins are working independently. Bitcoin's dumping, WorldCoin's up like 100%. This would not work. But these coins that are following candle for candle with Bitcoin, you could get this trade here, and even though you didn't hit the 5 and you close it when Bitcoin hits its close, Bitcoin may have moved 1% and this could have moved 4%. So your profit could be greater. That's the only reason. So hopefully that helps. That was my plan. Now, there are days I do dumb things like, or less planned things like say, you know what? I think I want to make $1,000 today. And I get in a trade, and as soon as I get up $1,000, I close it. I do that stuff sometimes when I just don't feel like thinking that much. That's the only way I would get in and close at 1%. If it didn't hit my target, I am not closing unless something develops on the chart that says, you better get out. And that's where I have my invalidation points. Or sometimes I'll get out before that. If I see something extremely, like we just SFP'd on the bearish divergence, okay, I might should get out. Probably not going to play out to the upside because we took this with bearish divs and rejected, and now we've confirmed a closed SFP. Something like that. Questions about that? Thanos says those are all things I've done. Salt chain 2. Joe took profit too soon. Capital again last night on that long from the box. Your scalping brain takes over. Yeah, mine does too. Once you, and I don't know, I have no idea what you've done in profit, but once you get one of those big, like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 profits on a scalp that you just tried and didn't get out too soon, once that happens, I'm telling you, I remember, I'll never forget a few months ago, crypto, I think it was Hunches. Yeah, because he was not in the pro group yet. It was Hunches posted in Discord that he just said, I'm just going to try it. Dang box. He'd done the same thing, been doing the same thing. Probably been in Discord 6 months, been doing the same thing, taking profit too soon. Profitable, but not nearly what he could have been. He just said, I'm just going to do it. And he posted his profit. And it was like a $5,000 or $6,000 profit. And he said it was the largest trade by far he's ever made. He has never looked back. And now he's a member of the pro group. Like I can't explain it. It's like looking at a math problem, and when it just clicks, it's like, oh my gosh, like you just got it from then on out. Like it just clicks. It's like, that's the best way I know how to explain it. And I think once that happens for you guys, and you just try it, like you just try it. That's what it takes. You didn't know you could swim until you dove into the deep end, and then you realized I could have been doing this the whole time. And when that happens, it is such a good, this sounds so gay. It is such a liberating feeling, but really, like you're no longer constrained by the fear. You can still have some fear, but you're not constrained by it because you realize it's going to be okay. And I just made enough on this one trade that I can actually afford to lose the next 4 or 5 and still be up. And once you get that, you're going to let the next 4 or 5 ride. And you might lose one real big, but you're going to catch a couple more of those $5,000 trades. And then it's like, oh my gosh, what have I been doing this whole time? Wasting time and money. You just got to try it. I'll tell you guys, in my opinion, a big opportunity, possibly. I hate saying this to people because these are not blind trades, but I really think you're going to have a big opportunity here or a big opportunity here if you SFP either one of these. Either one of these on a swing failure pattern with divergences and with a reaction, either one of these is going to be big. If you have the right divergences and the reaction, could be big. I don't mean come back up and bull run on, but 10, 15% on a $1,000 trade at 30x leverage. If you wrote it to full 10%, I mean, that's $3,000. It's nothing to sneeze at. That's only 10%. That's if you, let's see what it would be if you took this and it rode back up to high. That's a 20%. That's a $6,000 trade. You can make $4,500 if you TP'd halfway, something like point of control, took off 50% and rode the rest here. You'd make $4,500. Even bigger one would be an SFP here. You took the liquidity from the low. You came back. Swing failure pattern, failed auction. That would mean that the market has decided that below there is too low. Now, you could roll back over. That's why you got to have the good divergences and reaction here. Not just you kind of bounce for $5 back above and then continue down. You want the divergences. And I'll help you when we get to these 2 levels. These are my 2 levels I'm looking for. But the market will have decided that below that, grab the liquidity. That's what we wanted, liquidity gone. And below this is not fair price for Bitcoin. The range is fair price for Bitcoin. Swing failure pattern, long it back up into the range. On a $1,000 30x leverage trade, you could make, I mean, you could easily make $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, but you have to just try it. You have to try it. What's below there? And so you took it right from that 60K level. It's a big drop down below. So you have to get the confirmation. You just got to try it, bro. One time. And if there were a time, even if we head down to 50K, 40K, whatever, I truly believe at this point, I could change my mind when we get down here. I truly believe that one of these is going to provide a major bounce opportunity first, before heading lower. I truly believe that. So if there were a time that you, in my opinion, if it were me, I would, let's just try one. It's going to be on one of these two levels. I don't know which yet. I will determine that when we get there. There's not a green box here, but there should be. This is a straight SFP. We have to swing failure pattern that on a 4-hour closer or better. 4-hour close or better. This is a major macro level. 5-minute close for me doesn't work. I want to see major divergences, which you will have weekly divergences here. You will have weekly divergences. No matter how low we go, no matter how freaking low we go, don't try to time this thing. Do not try to time this thing. No matter how low, because you could absolutely nuke through this down to 50K. There's your line. Let me make this line bigger. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I will do, what I plan to do, subject to change. What's orange and bold? I don't really, all right, let's look. First of all, if we came down there, let's go to the weekly. All right, obviously depending on if and when we came down there, but if we came down there relatively quick, you can see we're going to have good divergence on the weekly, right? Good divergence because you're going to be setting a lower low here, right? Lower low, higher low in momentum, so something like that, right? Something like that. Let's go to the 2-day. Could have it here on the 2-day as well. But either way, let's zoom back in. Let's go to the 4-hour. Ideally, this would come up more, so we get a little more of a bounce. Ideally, if you're going to make it all the way to 60K, and then come and you would have it on a 4-hour also. But that's probably going to come into play right here at the 200 week. I do think we get the bounce there. So we get the bounce there, and then we come up, and then I think we try for the 60K. And you're probably going to see this reflective on a 4-hour, or maybe even a daily, but a 4-hour. But anyway, let's just assume, I know I'm kind of babbling now, but let's just assume we came all the way down here to the 60K. I'm going to go to the daily, but I'm looking for a 4-hour close. If you want to be super conservative, you can look for a daily close. But I don't care how low it goes. I don't care if it barely wicks it and comes up. I don't care if it comes down here and comes up. I am not taking this trade. I am not taking this trade. I don't care if it comes down here and goes. I'm not taking this trade. I am taking the trade from here. That's where I'm taking the trade from, okay? I don't care. I'm not trying to time this bottom because if you take it here, it keeps going. Take it here, it keeps going. Take it here, it keeps going. Take it here, I'm not doing that. Some people do. I don't. I want a confirmed 4-hour closure, failed auction, swing failure pattern, chicken drink of water, whatever you want to call it. I want this. So I may miss out on an extra 5, 6, 10%. I don't care. Because if we fail this, by failing, it means you try to break down, but you can't. You close back in it. If we fail this, we should have a massive pump to the upside, back up to the range. Because literally the market is saying below here is not fair value. So we're going to grab the liquidity and come back into fair value, which is this range. So If you're looking for this trade, it's right here. But I'm telling you, I'm extremely interested in I guess you would call it dead cat bounce, tapping that and coming up. But I got to see a good reaction to divergences there. But ultimately, I think we roll over. But I think this is a good 10 or 15% trade right here. I'm letting you guys know ahead of time so you can be planned for it and not scared when you get there. If you're scared, great. I don't care. Put your fear aside and follow your plan if you have one. So what you would do then, okay, you have a value area range. You have a range, and you have a value area range, right? Your range is here. We have the low marked out, 60K, and your high is there at 83K. 60K to 83, that is your range, your swing low and your swing high. But within that, you have a range here, okay? So if you came and took this, okay, let's pretend we don't get the bounce at the 200, which we will. We'll take that trade too, but let's pretend we don't. We take this, we come back, we enter the long here on the 4-hour confirmation. Your first potential TP area is going to be at the range low, the value area range low, okay? Because you might just come up and then the market says, you know what? Actually, lower is more fair value. This is no longer fair value. We reject from the range low. If you reject from the range low, high time frame rejection, then you are headed lower. If you find acceptance back in, then you're headed to point of control. Flip that, you're headed to value area high, most likely, right? Simple law of the volume profile. So we want to play it safe. I mean, you do you. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to look to TP 1 right here. Right here. Range low. Key area. Range low. So if I took it from the 60K SFP, that's still a 9-10% trade. If I got a $3,000 trade on 30x leverage, that's a $90,000 margin. And if I wait to TP1 there, I could close the whole trade for $9,000, $9,000 profit. Boom. Or I could take half. See if we flip this. If we do, then I'll look for point of control, which will add another 3-4% onto my profit. Flip that, and you're riding up here, adding another 12-13% onto your profit. So just, it doesn't really matter, where you close it at. You just need to have a plan. Don't get up here and close your trade. You take the trade here, and you get up here and you close it there. Why? Why did you close it there? Was that your plan? Was your plan to run up 2% and close it? Because there's nothing here that says you should close it. There's no volume here. You see price just flies through this area. The first real resistance is going to come right here at the value area low. So why close it there? Let it run. Your validation. You come back below this wick, you're headed down. So it's really easy to put your stop right there. You get stopped out. You're not going to win them all, but have a plan. That way you can make your $5,000 right there, and you can lose your $200 if you come here. And so what? You do this enough, you're going to be up $15,000 while you lose 2 of these. You're down $400. You're still up $14,000. And if you're on a smaller account, you do the math, but you get my point. Have a plan. And I'm telling you guys, this is my plan for the low. Now, again, I do have another plan to take this first. But for the low, this is my plan. And I'll tell you, I'll do the exact same thing for this 200 weekly SMA. We'll probably get a little bigger bounce, but I'll do the same thing. You got the swing lows here. I will look for the swing failure pattern there into the 200 week. Boom. Confirm swing failure pattern right here. I'm going to long up to there. It's only a 5% move, but that's okay. $3,000 count, 90,000 times 5%. That's a $4,500 profit. I'll probably close half there, so I'll take a $2,000 profit. And I'll see if we can flip this. And if we can flip it, I'll stay in at the point of control. I'm going to do the same thing. because there's no other place that we should turn around. Can we? Yeah, sure, we could do whatever once, but there's no other place we should turn around before very low. That's it. And if I'm wrong on this trade, I have a good invalidation point. We come back and close below the 200 weekly, we're headed down. And then I'll look for the trade here at the bigger trade that I really want. Clear invalidation. Boom. You bounce from here, looks good, but if you roll back and take it out, then you're headed for this, period. Why? How do I know that? Well, what's in between here and there? What is in between this and this? Nothing. So why, if you take this and bounce, why would they come back down? There's only one reason, and that's to come get this. I mean, unless they just want to go lower, of course, but the only reason to grab this is to come back for the next wick, which is down here. So if you lose this, again, if you lose it, regain it, then lose it again, cut the trade and wait here. Set your trap here, because there's no reason to come back for this unless you're going for the 60K low. That's it. These are, guys, I'm telling you right now, these are what's coming up here is potentially two of the easiest trades, in my opinion, you'll ever see. Not blind trades, because you could nuke. I mean, you absolutely could nuke through it, get that big volume wick on the daily we've talked about. But should you get the reaction here, these are two of the easiest trades you'll ever get. At least one. You may not bounce at both of these, but you'll get a bounce at one of these, in my opinion. And if you don't, so what? You just don't take the trade. You have to have a confirmed SFP to take this trade on either one. I'm harping. I know. I'm sorry. What is Bitcoin doing? Let's refresh. I'm harping. But I want you guys, I see you guys making trades in Discord, and I see you taking profits, but I see you taking them way too soon. So I hope that helps a little bit. If you're going to follow me, which you shouldn't do, I'm just a guy on the internet. You already have my plan now. You have my plan. So either use that plan or make your own, but I just encourage you to have a plan. That's it. Entry, take profit areas, invalidation, or stop loss. That's all you need. Bitcoin just kind of, gosh. Coming down, but it's really just chilling. It's really not doing much. Just kind of consolidating in this area. Looks like an M pattern. It wants to come down. Check 15. See if you have any divergences here. We do. Bearish divergence. You're coming for the low, most likely. See the bear divs? This would have been an easy trade, too. I didn't take this, but you got a high. You came up, took the high. Swing failure pattern. Bearish divergence. Could have shorted this back down. What's your target? The low. The low. Let's look at our market sessions. Asia, UK. Nothing to see here, really. Asia, you think Asia trended up. It didn't. I mean, barely. But really, it trended down, then reversed. Then UK did what it always does, which is absolutely nothing. Asia high still remains. Asia low still remains. The US usually grabs both. Probably overextended on everything. Everything meaningful. 4 hour way down there. I would really like to see this low taken. I'd really like to get down into the 200 week right here on the 4 hour. Have something like this on the 4 hour. Good long trade. Spot buy on altcoins. Come back and retest very low, but you probably actually come to point of control, at least. Because if you come back to very low, you're probably fixing to nuke through it. or you could just bounce and consolidate from here. We've had a couple days of aggressive down. It wouldn't surprise me to see a day or two of just sideways and up, which is probably most likely to happen. You're probably most likely to bear flag from here. That's what you tend to do. See, you had a big aggressive move down here over the weekend. Bear flagged it up. Excuse me, this was last week. Then bear flagged it up through the week. Crash it down. You're probably most likely to bear flag it up and come down at least one more time. I would call for this or just rip the Band-Aid off today. One of the two. And I don't really have I don't really know. I don't really care. I'm short and I'm long. I'm schlonging. ARB. Let's look at ARB. I know you're wondering why I'm going ARB. I really don't know. I don't even know. I shouldn't even go over this right now because I don't think I can explain it. Where's all my drawings? Oh, no. You got to be kidding. I may have done this on another. No. Oh, come on. I must not have saved it. Gosh, dog it. I hate it when I do that. So I had gone through yesterday. I was right in the middle of it when I decided to get in. And I did the circulating supply stuff at all these levels and increase circulating supply, market cap, all that stuff that we do. I did all that and I marked it out, and I guess I didn't save it. Shoot. Thanos said, wouldn't want to hit that 5 EMA at 69K. I'll go back and take a look. Oh, gosh. I can't believe I didn't save this. Anyway, I don't like that ARB has a large token unlock. It had a large token unlock from here to here. Large token unlock. And it has continued to unlock tokens all the way down here. However, what I did like about it is if it only came back to the all-time high market cap, I can't remember if it was here. Either way, if it just came back to the high market cap, didn't it do any better? Didn't do it, just matched it. It would not come back to all-time high at $3, but it would come back to like $1.20, I think it was. And from a 9 cents, I mean, that was just like a good 12, 13x return. I don't know. I just liked it. I liked it. It's setting up. If you can take this low, which I ran it yesterday. It's not my ultimate buy. I don't know if it will be, but I ran it yesterday because everything was about to bounce, and I saw that, and I just wanted to make 4 or 5 grand, which we did. But if you look at the weekly, if you can come take this low, you're going to create some really strong bullish divergence here, which not every coin is going to if you take the low, right? Not every coin is going to create this. You're going to create this good head and shoulders on the weekly, which is powerful. So I could see you running up. You got some relatively equal highs here. I could see if you could get this running up at least about 24, 25 cents, which I could, at 8 cents down here, I could 3-4x my money. You know, I could turn 100 grand into 300,000 or 400,000, and then maybe catch a big pullback and maybe double my coins, something like that. Ride it up to $1 with 2 million coins, sell it $1, call it a day. Let everybody else worry about all-time highs in this. Call it a day. This is a coin I think I can work with. I like coins like this. I know it hasn't been around that long, but also I like coins like this that have very clearly defined support and resistance lines. Very clearly defined liquidation points too, right? Liquidity points very clearly. It's not a jumbled freaking mess. You know, like some of these other coins. Let's see. Like, this is a jumbled mess. Like, what do you do with this? Like, you got highs, but they've been taken, and then this is just like you got consolidation there, you got it there, you got it there, you got it there, it's like all over the place, right? This is hard. This is hard. Okay? And I know this has been around a lot longer, but look, you just have random consolidation areas all over. And I don't like that. I like charts like the ARB that are just long legs, consolidation, long legs, consolidation, long leg. You know what I mean? Easy long leg, consolidation, this consolidation all the way through. Long leg, consolidation, even this consolidation all the way through there. I like charts like this. This looks nothing like the other chart, which was like this. Like there's no long legs. There's random consolidation, no long leg. I mean, some long, you know what I mean. It looked different. I like this. I like this. I can trade this. This shows me where I can sell, shows me where I can take profit, shows me where when we run up, what's going to happen. Right? So we push back up here. We're going to come into this zone. Okay, boom. I'm going to look to TP somewhere in here, come back, probably retest the breakout, rebuy, push through the zone. Then I'm coming up to probably the next zone. You would say, well, what about this? Well, you didn't really turn around here. You just grinded up. Your turnaround was up in this zone. So, yeah, there's some waves in here, but ultimately this was your turnaround spot. So I'm going to know once we break through this, my next turnaround spot for potential TPs there. You break through this. Look, you didn't turn around again until here. So probably going to look. I just like this. It's just more my style. And the tokenomics aren't great as far as your unlocks, but you have fallen enough to where they're worth it if all you can do is repeat what you did last cycle. You come to $1.20, which is like a third of what you did last cycle. But from current price, $1.20 is good enough. Especially if you can get in a couple of big spot trades in there to accumulate. But I'm not set on this. It's just up there with them. That's if I don't get a chance at Fetch or World. I pretty much don't think I'll get a chance at World again. Gosh, to come back to the low. World will have to come down 60%, and it certainly can. A lot of coins from this point last cycle. Let's just go look at Fetch. I don't even know what it did from this point last cycle. June, right here. Right in here, this last little fall, which is kind of about where we are, fell 70%. So you certainly can. But I'm creating backups. Questions? Oh, Thanos, wouldn't want to hit that 5 EMA at 69K. You're talking about Bitcoin, I'm assuming. 69K. Let me refresh. Sure, you can hit the 5 EMA. I didn't take this trade. I don't. I don't know. Yeah, sure you can. I just don't like it. What I don't like about it is you're trapped under point of control. Daily close below point of control. I think this would be an instance. I would say that this is going to fail today, and this will come down significantly. So it was here yesterday at 71.1, then it came down 69.5. So this will come down to about 68K, probably right in there. And I don't know what happens today. It doesn't matter. You go down, you go sideways, whatever. But I can see this coming and hitting it tomorrow. Just because you got the big point of control right here, and I could be wrong. You could come hit it today. I mean, don't listen to me. Statistics say you hit this today, 96%, 95%, whatever it is. Just me personally, I think this is going to be one of those 5% days. You will come back up here, though. You have some really good, completely unmitigated vector candles. I'm on the daily. Completely unmitigated vector candles here. You will come get these at some point. I mean, this would be a 50% retracement here. Yeah, I mean, you could come get it. It changes nothing if you do. Actually, this is kind of what I said you would do for a couple days. I think I just said this. But whether or not you hit it today or not, I don't know. But like I literally just said, I think we sit here for a few days and you either nuke today or you sit here for a few days and you bear flag this up and then roll over just like there. I just don't know that you get up there today. There's no strength in here yet, nothing. And to me, the best chance at V-shaping this was the U.S. market open, and that just didn't happen. Can it happen? Sure, it can still happen. I mean, hey, look, if you get into these, I'm on the 1 hour, but you've got a series of relatively equal highs right here. So if you can get into these, you could push up pretty quick. Well, what they're doing, guys, you have to understand what they're doing. If you don't believe the low is in, this is it, the low, why are they not going and moving it down? There's not enough liquidity, and I'm not fixing to pull up liquidity. I looked at this earlier today, but there's not enough longs in the market. Not enough people have longed yet. So they're going to sit around here, in my opinion, they're going to sit around here for as long as it takes for people to be like, okay, we're not nuking. Let's long. They're going to build it that long. It's the exact same thing they did on the push up. And everybody kept falling for it. I kept getting so mad. I'm like, oh my gosh, will everybody quit shorting already? I mean, they would, you would have this, like this high set in, and then they would come down. And why wouldn't they push it higher? Because there wasn't enough liquidity. Not enough people are shorting. So they push it down. Okay, we're going to short. But they know a lot of people take the 618, 786 retrace for a short. So then they would let people short. Oh, you start breaking some levels. Here come the big shorts. Shorts piling at the bottom. Everybody FOMOs in. And that's when they would say, bam, liquidate. But they would spend a few days doing this. Every time. Big move up. Everybody shorts. Once I had enough short liquidation built up, so enough people had their stops and liquidations above there, boom, take it. And the fact that they haven't done it yet just means there's not enough people longing yet. But you believe me, this dump is not over. Nothing about the technical suggests this is over. So they may need to move it up a little. I don't really know. But as soon as there's enough liquidity below this, you can believe it. They're coming because this isn't over. They did not leave this behind. They're greedy. They want this and they want this. So they're going to build this up, use it as rocket fuel. Listen, you guys need to understand, like a market maker, most market makers, except for maybe Michael Saylor, don't have enough Bitcoin to sell. It's such a big asset to sell even everything they own and move price like this. What they need is people to place their longs here and their stops in liquidations, because when they come bring price, they may have enough to move price from here to here. And what that does is open up a bunch of sell orders. When you get stopped out of a long or liquidated, it creates a sell order, a market sell order. So if they want this, but they don't have enough money, enough Bitcoin to move price here, they need you to do it. And how do you do it? You do it by longing. Then they have enough money to get price from A to B here, and then your triggered market sell orders will be enough to fuel it down here so they can grab the liquidity they really want. That's how it works. That's why you have to understand liquidity and where the liquidity lies. So all they're doing now, psychological warfare, getting people to get excited and long here so that they can use their longs against them to come get what they really want. They didn't come this close to not come get this, I'm telling you. If this is all they wanted, guys, if this was all they wanted and they didn't want this or possibly even this, you would have already V-shaped from here. That'd be it. They would have turned price around, you'd be gone. You're hanging out here, building up more liquidity right here to rocket yourself down to these. That's it. That's all you need to know. Same thing here. Same thing here. Back here, there were these other highs here. We talked about this for a long time. No, they were here. We talked about this for a long time. So they pushed price here, but they couldn't get them. And everybody was thinking, oh, we're going to dump from here. We're coming back into the range. No, you didn't. If you were going to, you would have V-shaped this sucker. You would have V-shaped it like this. Boom, big V-shape. You hung around here. Why? Getting everybody to short so they could, boom, and come grab this. That's why price hung around. That's why they didn't V-shape it like they did here. Like they did here. Price hung around. The only reason it hung around was to convince you that, okay, we're breaking down. Oh, here we go, breaking back into the nope, boom. They used you and me to stop us out and create the buy orders they needed to come get their liquidity. And that's what they're doing here. Otherwise, price would already be back up here. You would have already V-shaped it back, just like this. But don't get fooled now. They can actually move this a good ways if they need to, just like this. It just depends on how many people buy into this or how quickly. They'll move it as far as they got to before they boom. But if they don't have to move it very far, they would rather not. So it just depends on how many people can long right here. You see a bunch of longs piled in, get ready. We're going down. Hope that makes sense. That's why this happens. Why not nuke it all the way? They don't have the money to do that. They need you to do that. How do they get you to do that? Thinking you're recovering. Oh, we got enough liquidity, enough longs are piled in. Let's nuke it. How do you know that? Vector candle breakdown. That's them pushing the market against you. And then all these gray candles take over. That's your liquidations. All right, questions, guys? Questions, comments before we go? Send me over your alts, guys. Earn your $1,000. I am not set on ARB. I am not set on Fetch. Now, if Fetch comes back, I'm going with Fetch. Make no bones about it. But if it doesn't, I need a backup. CVD. CVD is, we'll pull it up, but CVD is not going to tell you anything right now because it will have gotten reset yesterday, and that's just going to take time to build up. But we did call. That was a good call on that whale. Remember I told you the whale up top? CVD was headed up. Open interest headed up. The price wasn't. I said this whale at some point is going to push this price down. This is not going to tell us anything because it will look, but I doubt seriously if CVD is reset yet. I want to go back and look at that daily spike too, see if we got a daily spike. Gosh, this cat's clawing me. I've had the cat in my lap the whole time. Jovi. Want to say hey? Say hey? Say hey. She don't want to say hey. Let's look at CBD. Oh, nothing to see here. This little, I'm on the 30-minute. So on the 30-minute, we're getting a little baby move down here. For those of you who don't know how to read this, I'm starving. CBD going down, but that's not shorts coming in. This is longs closing out. You can see that because of this big open interest drop. That means you would think shorts coming in because CBD is going down, but if open interest is going up, that means people are shorting, but they're not. That means longs are closing out. Long people are being stopped out, liquidated, or they're just taking profit. Cat's getting bigger. Nothing to see on the 30-minute. There's going to be nothing to see on the higher time frames because all this have just gotten reset. I mean, you can see all this has just gotten reset. So it's going to take time. No divergence here on the 4-hour. No divergence. You got lower, lower. But open interest is coming down. So these are not shorts coming in. These are longs closing out. That's what I mean. This move down, they're liquidating folks. This is not sell orders coming in. If it was, you would see this. Open interest would be coming up while CVD is coming down. That would mean people are selling. They're not selling. CVD is coming down, open interest is coming down. That means the longs are being wiped out. That's what that means. Let's kind of look in on the lower time frames. There's just not going to be anything here. It's just too fresh. It takes time for CVD to reset. Especially, now you can see this. It doesn't take time if there's volatility, but this is like, this is nothing. So there's really no longs and shorts coming in with any volume. Otherwise, price would be very volatile right now, but it's not. Let's see. There's just nothing. Little micro look at the 1 minute. There's just nothing. There's no open interest coming in, so there's nothing. Hence the dead volatility. These are shorts closing out. CVD's headed down. This is or longs closing out. Excuse me. This is nothing. This needs a reset. It'll take some time. Could take a couple days. That doesn't mean you can't have a big move. You can have a big move, but it's just not a move that we'll see coming based upon CVD. All right, guys, any more questions before we go? Send me an altcoin, guys. Earn your $1,000. I need a backup plan. I'm leaning towards ARB right now, but I'm gonna have to go do my research again. First of all, I don't know anything about it fundamentally. I know you can send USDT on it. That's all I know. I'm gonna have to redo my tokenomics on it too, because apparently I didn't save that. So send me a coin. ARB doesn't look very good. It doesn't look bullish, right? Look at the difference. It did until yesterday. It looked just like Fetch. Let's side by side these. It looked just like it. So I don't know. Maybe Fetch is just uber bullish. On the weekly time frame. I mean, they look very similar, like just on the way down, boom, stair stepping down, big stair steps down. And you can enter at the lows. They came into the lows. Fetch came down. ARB came down. They bounced, right? Came down, bounced. Pull back, bounce. Same thing. Pull back, bounce. Fetch kept going. ARB rolled over. That's the only difference. But they looked pretty similar up till then. From the low in February, Fetch up to the point they went separate was 100% up. And ARB did a rally from the bottom of 75%. So Fetch a little bit stronger. ARB rolled over. You should take note of this, by the way. I'm telling you, Coins you see doing this right now, they're multiple, not just Fetch. You got WorldCoin doing it. Coins that you see moving independently of Bitcoin right now, it won't always be that way. They'll rejoin the market. But I'm telling you, when the bull run gets thick, these are the coins that are going to outperform. They're stronger coins. So if you get another shot at one of these coins that is right now moving independently of Bitcoin, if you get another shot at the lows on them, I'm telling you, those are the ones you're going to hold. I had Fetch at sub 14 cents. You remember that? I showed you that. I posted that. I sold it. And I'm kicking myself right now. I don't think you're going to get a shot at that again. You might. We just looked from this point last cycle. Fetch rolled down 70%. I mean, hell, they could put you all the way down to 7 cents. I don't think you're going to get it. I would like to see a shot. Gosh. From the lows this cycle, I mean, the 786, somewhere around at 17 cents, 18 cents. That area we looked at, 1750, 1770, somewhere in there, I would love that. Love it. Matter of fact, this area right here, look at all this cluster, 618 area. You could come lower. You got the value area low here. You got a monthly level. Look at all this. You give me this. You give me this. I don't care if I have to ride drawdown here. I am loading up on 19-cent Fetch if you give that to me again. And I think you got a real shot at getting that. I think if Bitcoin goes into the 50s, you got a real shot at getting that. That is only a, say like 19, right here in the middle, let's say 1930, which is the 618. It's only 27% from, that's nothing. Look, before WorldCoin went on this 100% rally, the other day, look at this. 33% dump, nothing. 33% dump. You would only need a 27 on Fetch, and WorldCoin from there turned around and did 97%. Nothing. You could get this, guys. You do you. You buy where you want to buy. But I'm telling you, we come down to this level right here on Fetch. I don't give a shit if we go lower. I'm not playing with it again. That's it. That won't be my last trade on Fetch. I mean, I will do some larger trades later, but it's going to be some of the bigger trades that we talked about doing. Like, I got my boom, things like this. When we come up into, value area high, I'm going to look to sell, and I'm going to look to buy when we come retest it, wherever it may be. I'm going to do these larger trades, but that's it. The intraday trading is over for me. I don't care where it goes in here. I'm rebuying right here around 19 cents. If we get it. I think we will. But if not, I need a backup plan. So send them to me, guys. All right, I'm out of here. I love you guys. The Lord loves you. It is a great day. If I know. Listen, I know that Brad, Crypto Hunches, Max, John, Salt Chain. I know that all these guys in the pro group, I know all of them except one, and one of them's been posting some big scalps. But all of the rest of them are up tens of thousands of dollars from these two big swing trades that we gave and took and closed out today. Congratulations to everybody that took those, guys. I'm not trying to rub in anybody's face. This just doesn't happen very often, and we're really fired up about it. Thank you guys for being a part of the group. The trades are great. Today's a day of celebration. Everybody go eat Mexican, eat some pizza, do whatever you do to celebrate. But it's a good day, and we'll wait to look for the next ones. I gave you my next two trade setups I'm looking for. I'm not interested in a short, period. You couldn't pay me to short from this area. Not even a breakdown. You know what I'm looking for, guys. I'll be available in Discord. DM me or post in Discord if you have questions. We'll get to them. I'm available all day. Lord loves you. I love you. I'll see you guys next time.